What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journeys. So today when I talk to you about Palantir, I want to go over some of the current data points, what's been coming out associated to Palantir, what's really been moving it, and finally why I feel a breakout is coming very soon. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. Starting off, Palantir is up 1.19% today, 28.09 the high, and then 27.28 the low. And 17.06 million shares being traded, 41.1 is the average. So that is relatively low in comparison to the norm. So the broader market is rallying like crazy today. So Palantir is kind of just piggybacking somewhat off of that. These are some of the transactions that is occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So you do see majority of the volume being done so far is truly linked to institutions, not being drove up because of algorithmic trading, because the broader market is rallying. A lot of good data that's been coming out this week, especially over the last 48 hours, all insinuating that there is going to be rate cuts, roughly around an 88.1% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut for the September 18th meeting. And then currently for the November 7th meeting, 54.8% of another 25 basis point cut. So potentially 2 cuts in 2024. That is absolutely amazing for just the broader market, and through that as well Palantir. The only weird thing about Palantir is over the last several trading days, it hasn't really participated all that much in the nice upward momentum that's been happening. So a lot of people are starting to say, well, you know what, Palantir is overdone and whatever else. It's kind of funny, that's always does happen with Palantir. Every time it kind of shows somewhat of a slowing, people just turn instantly bearish. Very comical if you ask me. But as of late, there hasn't been all that much for news for Palantir. So last news came out July the 8th. And then as far as SEC filings, there was this that did come out yesterday. Nothing really crazy if you ask me. So it did show right here a straight up sell. And so this is a director for 3,000 shares. What I'll do is, there you go. So it is right here, has a footnote for 1. So it looks like it was already tentatively planned. So nothing really crazy if you ask me. And it was a sell, not for tax purposes, but still very, very small amount. And plus it's a director, so nothing really crazy again. But when it comes down to Palantir, so I'm going to go over some of the data points and why I feel a lot of them are very bullish, insinuating a breakout is coming. Starting off with shorts. I bring this up more for analysis purposes rather than anything, but shorts are returning 100,000 shares. 4.16% of the free float is being shorted. So like I said, very low stuff for that. 80.16 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization 3.52. Short score 33.5 or 3.5. So the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. Cost to borrow average is 1.76. You do see some signs of manipulation when it comes to Palantir, because cost to borrow minimum is negative 0.2, meaning there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Palantir. But interesting point, shorts have started to increase. Of course, that does mean that they are kind of sensing that Palantir might potentially pull back, but because of the momentum and Palantir not really breaking as what a lot of people were anticipating, this is causing shorts to return. So I see that as extremely optimistic. So this is point number 1 that I do want to bring up. And even aside from that, just to quickly pop over to IBKR, I'll give you an overview of that. So through IBKR, I've again shown you this, I believe, the last video. It does show 31 to 34.90 to be the next target based on the technicals in the short term. So more of a continuation of a rally. And over this last several trading days, I'll kind of talk on it a little bit more once I go over the technicals, it's just been consolidating. So building more and more stronger support. So in reality, I see this as very achievable in the short term. So $35, I don't think that many people are going to complain about that. As of late, there hasn't been any recent analyst ratings I haven't covered in a video. So this one was done 4 days ago, 25 hold rating by Citi Tyler, who has a 49% success rating. So not necessarily the best, but beside the point, that's your general updates for that. Looking at options, $13 million in calls, 5.43 million in puts. So a lot of money once again is getting into Palantir through options, not necessarily through common stock today, but still nonetheless a lot of optimism for that. And of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be in excess of $30 by the end of next week, so July the 19th. So like I said, the Elliott Wave technicals are projecting roughly about anywhere from I think 31 to 35 in the next couple weeks. So it looks like for August 16th it is anticipated to be kind of around the $31 range. So when it comes down to options though, it is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price, but it is very good to see that algorithmic trading isn't really getting involved in Palantir, and it is just true institutions. Same goes for yesterday, a lot of good transactions, and same as the day before. So let me know your thoughts on that. But ultimately, right now with it at $27.98, it is trading between this R2 and this R3. So $27.74 is a very strong support that you'll want to watch for Palantir to really hold. And then $29.87 is going to be the next strong resistance / target. Nonetheless, though, even if you look at all the fib levels, it is very wide gap, so just anticipate a lot of volatility in the foreseeable future. But it is very comical to see as soon as Palantir does break below this R2, you instantly see just people like, hey, it's going to break, it's going to go down, blah, blah, blah. Palantir is like a crazy momentum play right now. There's a certain FOMO aspect as well, and just the broader market rallying as much as it is. All of that combined is kind of showing that Palantir is going to kind of hit that $30 mark sooner rather than later. But on the actual chart itself, it has shown some signs of consolidation over the last several trading days, which is relatively good and healthy for the stock because stochastic is considered very overbought because it is at 89. No defined trend right now. But number of retail investors have been buying the dip when it comes to, or not dip, but buying Palantir, I guess. You can tell that based on the momentum indicator. And they've been getting in ever since it looks like May the 24th. And so I think all in all, this is a very unique circumstance that both institutions and retail are buying. The current market is very optimistic. Even this data did come out starting to make its rounds about the probability of a US recession in the next 12 months. It is down to around 49.2%. So prior to today, I think there was an anticipation that near the second half of 2024, there was going to be obviously a recession in some fashion. But based on this and just a lot of analysts, it looks like the new targets for at least the S&P to be around 5,700. So I think analysts are starting to warm up to the whole rate cuts causing a lot more buying power coming from consumers, and that's just going to drive the market so much higher. So the circumstances right now are a very interesting kind of scenario, but nonetheless, it should really stand to benefit Palantir investors. So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.